전 세계 최강 대한민국 양궁 대표팀이 금메달 소식을 전했습니다. 중국 상하이에서 열린 2025 현대 양궁 월드컵 2차 대회 여자 리커브 단체에서 대한민국의 임시현, 강채영, 안산 선수는 다시 한번 세계 최정상에 오르며 금메달을 목에 걸었습니다. 결승전의 상대는 중국이었는데요. 최근 엄청나게 성장하고 있는 중국 양궁 대표팀은 이번에야말로 반드시 대한민국을 꺾어보겠다는 각오를 가지고 경기에 임했습니다. 게다가 중국에서 열린 경기였기 때문에 중국 관중들의 응원이 상당했고 중국 선수들이 10점을 한 번 쏠 때마다 엄청난 함성이 쏟아졌습니다. 경기는 상당히 팽팽하게 진행되었고 중국 선수들의 성장한 실력은 대한민국 선수들을 긴장하게 만들었는데요. 대한민국을 패배 직전까지 몰아넣을 정도였습니다. 그러나 대한민국 선수들은 결정적인 순간에 10점을 정확히 쏘면서 중국 선수들을 좌절시켰고 왜 대한민국 양궁 대표팀이 세계 최강인지를 다시 한번 증명했습니다. 자랑스러운 우리 선수들의 경기 장면 함께 보시겠습니다.
So they took the big one, but there's no doubt this is a huge rivalry. Ansan on the shooting line to start the gold rush.
Where last year we saw a relatively unexperienced Korean team, this is very much an all-star lineup we have here with well, more Olympic medals than I can count on my both hands, I think.
China begin with Zhu Jingyi.
For China, this is going to be an interesting match to shoot as well in front of their home crowd. Some archers deal with it differently than others. I like shooting in front of a home crowd, but there's also people that don't really like shooting in front of a home crowd because it can add some pressure. So it's a bit of a different situation than what they're used to, maybe.
Well, Huang feeling the pressure and making some big changes to her sight. Jianan Anhun goes into the 10. That should settle the nerves. Set system in play in recurve archery, which means the scores are self-contained within each set. If you win a set, you get 2 points. If you draw, it's 1. If you lose, it's no points. Target score for the win?
6 set points. Sorry, 5 set points. It's team.
Kang shooting in the middle for Korea. Here's Lim Seon anchoring the team. So 56 points just out of reach from Team China. So the set points are going to go to Korea here, but these are in effect practice arrows for the next set.
Yeah, they're going to be valuable for the especially the first two archers to figure out why the first arrow didn't hit the middle, or at least to figure out if they can do something to hit the middle in the next set, because in the set system it doesn't matter if you lose the first set because you can easily get back as long as you do this. So yeah, like you said, it's a bit of practice and some time to find your footing.
China trailing by 2. We go into set 2. And they go to the shooting line. Zhu Jingyi, 18 years old, world number 46. Gets us underway.
And I'm surprised to see that arrow hit pretty much the exact center of the target, because it looked so quick and uncontrolled. But yeah, for some reason, well, she knows what she's doing, obviously.
Following suit, just 20 years old, world number 133. Now the world number 7, the Jiman.
A bit of a long hold for her, but still within the gold. 28, not a bad first rotation, but well, shooting against the Korean team, you might want to put some more pressure on.
9.
Han San, surprisingly low ranking of number 80 in the world. I'm not sure that really tells the full story, given that she didn't compete last season. Also not competing on the main circuit last season. Kang Chae-young down at world number 40.
Yeah, which makes it all the more impressive that they still have relatively high world rankings, because that means that they've had some really good results the year prior, because they have probably been halved all those results.
Certainly no loss of form, and there's a good deal of camaraderie going on the Korean side of the shooting line. Not to say there isn't on the Chinese side, they're definitely communicating with each other.
Some really good shooting here for the Chinese team, and that is exactly what they should be doing, seeing as Korea has a potential of 59 points for this set.
9.
Is that dropped point going to be the difference? In the absence of Korea, China won the first stage in Central Florida just a few weeks back.
9.
Yeah, and they're essentially in the same shoes as the US team they were shooting against in Florida. They're shooting in front of their home crowd against a team that on paper is a very difficult one to beat. So getting a taste of their own medicine, maybe?
9.
So this arrow needs to go in the 10, otherwise China will level up. And it does go into the 10. Lim Sion, world number 1 in the anchor position for the Korean team, levels up. Scores tied in the second set. Korea still lead by 2. Set number 3. Zhu back on the shooting line.
Eight.
Well, an 8 at 70 meters is by no means a bad shot, but against the Koreans, 8s are going to be a problem.
Good job from Lee Jae-man there, putting that one in the 10, because 28 is still a fairly good score, so important to get that one in.
Han San's lost none of her verve.
No, it's very impressive shooting so far. Last arrow of Ansan was the first 10 that she shot, but so far Korea has stayed completely within the gold, so very consistent.
Eight.
That is the obvious thing to happen after I say that everything is within the gold.
Curse of the commentator, but it does mean that at the halfway stage in this set, China for the first time are leading the way. It means they had control until that 9. They had control of the set.
With a pair of 10s, they could have made sure Korea couldn't beat them this set, but that 8 is not very well timed.
Highest ranked Chinese archer on the line, Li Jiaman. She really needs a 10 here. Dropped into the 9. High 9, set a 54 target. So Korea have a big opportunity here to close this one out. Ooh. Now, that's been called an 8 in venue. Do you agree with that? That could have been in the 7.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a 7 asterisk. That's at least what I would put it as.
Asterisk meaning it would go for a measure. Needed.
So a 10 here, and that first arrow will turn out to be very important for the match result.
Nine.
It's gone into the 9, and we are set up for a thriller here. Now, we've had a correction here that the scores were leveled up, 54. So it must mean that one of the other arrows for Korea was marked up.
Yeah, I think that was the second arrow of the set then, the 9-10 liner of Kang Chae-yeon.
So the contest has changed somewhat here in that Korea lead 4-2, and that means that China must win this set.
Seven.
Back on target. Impressive recovery there as well, going from a 7 back into the X-ring of the target.
And they will be buoyed by that 7. And I have to say, from China, I should say, the first arrow from Zhu is also up for a measure, currently marked as an 8.
Yeah, and mind you, Korea only has to tie this set to win the match.
Lim Xian.
Nine.
Not the best shot. There's a bit of a, I don't know if it's hesitation, but a bit of a delay in the shot when the clicker went.
3 massive arrows for China here. They really could do with at least a couple of 10s.
Nine.
There you go.
Huang hands over to Lee Jiman.
Eight.
That's drifted out to the 8. So, a reprieve for the Korean team, edging the third set into a tied set. And now An San makes up for the 7 she threw down in the 4th arrow of the previous set. Just 15 points required from 2 arrows for Korea, and you have to fancy them now.
It might not matter, but there is an arrow up for a measure in the Chinese team. So I'm inclined to say 16 for the win, so 6 now, just to be sure.
Surely that is within Lim Sion's grasp.
9.
Yes, it is a 9 for Korea. It was a more tricky match than perhaps they intended, but the Koreans have returned to Shanghai and have taken the gold medal in the recurve women's team competition.